Right. So I'm speaking to Jerry Gray, who is a truly delightful and very talented artist working for a long time now in Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada. I think that's right, Jerry. It's Ottawa that you
Yes, it's
live and
all
work.
now.
Yeah.
In Vancouver.
And you started out in Vancouver, like I did many years ago. I was born in Vancouver, and and so she has exhibited all over the place. She has all kinds of, uh, of really top galleries in Canada and elsewhere with her work. And I've just been looking online to see her work, and well, she covers many subjects. I was really struck by the recent work which look like they're like the kind of illustrations, the really finely drawn expert illustrations that I used to get in books by people who were intent on telling a story with the illustration as much as with the actual words. And for me, people of every age, children to adults, would be delighted to pore over a book of stories illustrated with Jerry's simple, profound drawings. Not a line too many, every line necessary, every necessary line. To me, these are storytelling pictures, not graphic kitsch. Her expert gestures and deeply felt emotions are the kind that lead their story. They don't just follow it. I do want to hear these stories. I could turn the pages of such a book of paintings, drawings, meditating in peace and pleasure on the possible story behind each one. I know, Jerry, that's not all of your work by any means, but that's what really struck me when I looked at your online website.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I did it for the Sisters of Charity in Ottawa. It's basically to let, it's an order that is gradually diminishing, and they want their story told. And this is telling their story and the good works they have done all over the world. But working with them was a great joy for me.
It certainly comes through in the paintings themselves and the drawings. Can you, could you talk a little bit about how you got started in this kind of work? You've been at it a long time, nearly 50 years it looks like.
Oh, don't say that. Now people are going to say, anyway, here I am. But I got started probably when I was very young, drawing and things, but I went to Vancouver School of Art. And then I've gradually worked my way across the country. And, I've always loved drawing, I've always loved painting, and I've been fortunate enough in the last few years to be able to work at it full time. And as you know, for artists, the challenge is working as well as earning an income. And
yes.
And so I've done reasonably well, but I do have years that aren't brilliant, and I have years that are absolutely brilliant. So
right.
You just don't know when that's going to happen, though.
It's unpredictable, yeah.
Yeah, but I love the work, and actually those drawings are silk screens that were made from drawings because I wanted to convey the feeling of the old storytelling that you saw in medieval times,
sure.
Or in the churches, because it was for a religious order. But I loved working on it, and as I say, I loved working with the sisters. And I had a wonderful young man called Danny Hussey, Hussey, who you can look up,
sure.
who helped with the silk. He did the silk screening.
Sure.
And another friend of mine, Ann Carlisle, was a designer, and so we worked on fitting it into the space, and it's very specific space. And fortunately, Upper Canada stretchers came through with a good solution to making it fit the space, so that the works, I wanted them broken up so that the works, like canvas does over time, sag a bit.
Sure.
And so I'm hoping it won't happen, but through a company here in Ottawa, run by Josh Bates, we figured out a way to be able to take it off the wall and re-stretch it. And you have little great corners for fixing.
That's good. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So how you'd like to know that?
Yeah, that's very nice for us all to know for sure. Well, that's what we're in, making sure that artists like you get what they need to make it and keep it. So you went to, but how did you have mentors in your early age, like that people around you that were painting and drawing that made you get excited about the idea of doing it, or
You know, I think I've been lucky all along the way, because in Vancouver, I would say somebody he wasn't my teacher, but he was very supportive. There was people called Jack and Doris Shabel.
Oh, I know those people, yeah.
And they were always very supportive of me, and I can't tell you how I appreciated it.
Oh, sure.
And then there was another chap called Bill Reed, who was native artist, who's known for his work, but who I helped a bit. But he also was very supportive.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's nice. It's the whole coast scene makes you feel like wanting to be an artist somehow.
Yeah, there is something about it, and it doesn't exist everywhere.
No.
No, I mean, here I find that people here in Ottawa, people are very supportive, but once you're out of art school and things like that, it's hard finding sort of that nucleus of people that are always supportive. And I can't say in Ottawa I don't feel the supportive here.
You do.
I love it here.
It's wonderful. That's very good. Well, I'm glad they have good sense.